Hey-oh! And what's up, gang? Thank you once again for tuning back into the channel. Today, we have more breaking news. We have, as always, today in pro wrestling history, we have big news coming out of New Japan once again. And the biggest of the big, CM Punk making his return to a wrestling ring, possibly? Let's talk about all of that right here and right now on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Do it!
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
What is up, everybody? Thank you once again for tuning back into the channel. This is the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, right here on Sledgehammer TV, brought to you by me, your host, Nick Nightmare. With me, as always, is Blue, the Snowball Microphone. And let's start off talking about yesterday. Yesterday, I had the great pleasure to witness a fantastic concert, which is why I'm all decked out in the Metallica gear. If you don't like Metallica, I don't want to hear about it, so keep it to yourself, because I have been loving Metallica for over 3 decades, and last night's show did not disappoint. I know there are some people on the fence with the new album. A lot of people have been on the fence with Metallica ever since the Black Album. I don't like those people, because it means you're not growing with the times, you're not open to new music, new experiences. Metallica has gone away from the thrash metal and have become just heavy metal, hard rock, so to speak, and some people don't like that. I don't mind. I think their music fucking kicks ass. Also, Volbeat is another band I am a very big proponent of. They were the opening act for Metallica. It was probably the single greatest 2-band show I have ever seen, because these have been 2 of my favorite bands for as long as I can remember. When I first found Volbeat, many people don't know them. They're a small little heavy metal band from Denmark. They like to cover Johnny Cash and Elvis Presley. It's probably an acquired taste, but they're fucking fantastic. And last night was unbelievable. However, the Nassau Coliseum fucking sucks. Okay, this new Nassau Coliseum, let me tell you about it. If you have seats that are above the 100s, then give your tickets back, because you are going to be trapped underneath an unnecessary overhang. There's no more seats over your head. You're the top level. Don't let it fool you. And I was in row 15, which ended up being like the second to last row in the fucking arena, and I couldn't really see very well. I had a very limited view of the stage. I couldn't see anything above it, so all the light show and everything that was going on was not available for my eyes. And more importantly, the sound was ruined by being encased in this almost an enclosure. And let me explain. The reason why I know this for a fact is because towards the end of the show, I decided to mosey myself on down and try to get a little closer just before I left the show, because they were doing the encores. So I made my way down. And I kid you not, as soon as I stepped out from underneath where that shit was hanging over my head, boom! I was hit with a wall of fucking music, and it completely made me wish that I had made this decision earlier. I would have much rather walk around the arena in circles to have felt and experienced the music the way you're supposed to at a rock and roll concert, and it was kind of diminished. But I did not let that take away from the fact that the set lists for both bands were fantastic. The music was, it speaks for itself, man. It's fucking Metallica. It was awesome. What also I did not allow to detract my evening was the surrounding Mama Luke crowd that I was unfortunately placed inside of. And I had some 600-pound mook about 2 seats over who had his arms rested on his belly like this for 3 hours with a face so miserable. The only time I seen him smile was when the little friend he was with came back with his chicken nuggets and french fries, because he needed to add more fucking pounds, because I guess his arms weren't getting enough lift. You know what I'm saying? Holy shit. And the seat between the two of us was empty for quite some time, but then some very strange young man decided to come sit. And I don't judge. You know, the guy was there, he was rocking out, he was doing good, you know, the whole thing while he was there. And that's great, because at least I had somebody with some energy and somebody who was enjoying the show somewhat to the likes that I was enjoying the show, because to my right I had some other old guy, maybe 60-something, dressed in fucking leather. We're all sweating buckets because it was like 1,000 degrees in there. And all he kept doing all night was, woo! Woo! I mean, that was the limit. That was his volume. That was his pitch. That's exactly how it went. Some other guy on his phone behind me through the whole thing. And everybody thinks they're an amateur photographer now with their goddamn iPhones. The whole damn crowd up like this. I mean, how are we even enjoying the show? I mean, I'm guilty of it myself. I was trying to get some good stuff to, you know, to bring back home and to show my wife, because I went alone, and to maybe put up on the channel or to use on the podcast in some way. So, you know, I found myself guilty of being there like this, like everybody else. But I also realized when my phone died and I wasn't able to do that when you do those things, you're not enjoying the show. You're not. I have a little bit of a disconnect from that portion of the show. When I'm fully able to immerse myself and disconnect from the internet and from being connected to Twitter and showing people what I'm doing, it was actually a much more enjoyable experience. And that's, you might be thinking, why is all of this relevant? Well, because it did breed some wrestling news. First of all, I had these nifty little cards made out for the show, and check this out. Boom, look at this. Badass little advertisement card. We got, you know, trying to get the word out. So I'm going to an arena show. I'm going to a concert. I want to find some wrestling fans, right? I want to hand out some cards. I want to spread the word. But it didn't work like that, because either nobody admitted to being a wrestling fan, or there just were no wrestling fans in attendance in and around where I was. And as I just previously explained, even if I found out this particular section of the crowd were wrestling fans, I wouldn't want them to be part of our show, to be part of our family. We don't need Mama Lukes like that. Alright, so moving on. The reason why I even went this far with this Metallica thing, and bear with me, is because as I was standing down there waiting for the encore to finish, I could have sworn I seen Velvet Sky run past me. The Velvet Sky. She was holding hands with some rather large gentlemen who seemed to be running rather quickly with her, and they were kind of ducked down, and I looked very quickly, and I seen these two people running, and I was like, that looked like Velvet Sky. And there's Metallica over there, and I'm like, no way, I'm seeing things. It was probably just an attractive lady just running. Maybe she looked like Velvet Sky. You don't think you're going to see these guys at a concert that you're going to see them. But then when I get home and I check my Twitter and everything, sure enough, they're posting pictures from the concert. So I seen them. They ran right fucking past me. And had I really known, I definitely would have chased them. The other thing is this piece of crap phone, like I said, died halfway through the Metallica set. So even if I found them, I couldn't be like, hey, Bubba, hey, Velvet, can I get a snap a little self-a-dooski for my show? And then I also would find out that Stephanie McMahon and Triple H were in attendance as well. They were in the skybox up above, which I wouldn't be able to see because I was trapped in the fucking overhang. And I couldn't see anything above the stage. And it's very, very possible that if I was down, I would have been able to see the game and his lovely wife in some vantage point, in some window or something, enjoying the show, and it would have definitely brought my enjoyment level to 1,000,000, because it was maybe like 999,000, you know, so this would definitely put it over the top. But that was a little bit of a wrestling story there. And where are all you guys, man? How come I can't find wrestling fans? Especially here in New York City, you would think. Even on Long Island, like, there's got to be wrestling fans, right? We're at the Nassau Coliseum. How is it possible that I'm the only freaking guy that loves wrestling? I'm standing there in my Sledgehammer Wrestling Show t-shirt. I got my AJ Styles cap on. I didn't get one goon. I didn't get one jerk calling out me, hey, AJ Styles. You know, nobody even knew, like, what my hat was. I mean, come on. All right, so that's enough of that. Let's get into today's news. And the first news story, thank you for indulging my little Metallica story, guys. If you liked it, let me know in the comments below. If you want to hear more kind of stuff like that, I could always tell you guys about my day. If that's something you want to hear about, if it's entertaining, let me know. Use up that comment section below. Shout out at me. Let me know what you think. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you like what's going on. First news story coming at us from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Once again, making some waves. Big moves going on in the Far East. New Japan Pro Wrestling owner. Let me see if I can get this right. Takaaki Kidani. If that's incorrect, I apologize, but that's how I read it. Takaaki Kidani, owner of New Japan Pro Wrestling, announced some big plans for his promotion in the coming years, including an expansion brand in the United States. Kidani addressed the future of NJPW at a press conference in Tokyo on Tuesday, and he said he intends to have a fully operational U.S. subsidiary along with a new dojo by 2018. The promoter/owner also spoke confidently about fan interest here in the United States, referencing how the G1 Climax special event that has been booked for Long Beach sold out in under 2 hours, and said personally he thinks he can run buildings twice that size on American soil. He also wants to sell NJPW television content to more American cable networks. Kidani also brought up the recent injuries sustained by Katsuyori Shibata and Tomoaki Hanma, saying he wants to closely re-examine everything when it comes to the safety of New Japan Pro Wrestling wrestlers competing using the Japanese strong style. That's always good to hear that, the promoters are looking out for these guys and are going to try to maybe adjust the product in a way where so many people don't get hurt, because we're having so many injuries nowadays all across the board, even in the WWE. But this is fantastic and completely crappy news all at the same time. It's very good and very bad. And let's go over. Why is it good? Well, it's good because we're going to have some of the greatest wrestling in the world to watch. There's going to be more wrestling to watch here in the United States. And the bad news is there's going to be more wrestling to watch. And it's going to be good. So you're going to have to put yourself in a position to watch an Americanized New Japan is probably going to blow the WWE completely out of the water. Their talent is 300 times better. They are not as well known in the States, which is where the TV exposure will come in. But look at, like he said, like the owner said, Takaaki Kidani says that the G1 Climax special sold out in 2 hours. The New Japan culture is already present here in the States. So doing this is fucking fantastic. I can't wait to see where it's really going to come in and who's going to pick it up. We're going to have Kenny Omega on US TV. Come on, man. So many of us are looking for something different, and TNA's not giving it to us. NXT, it whets the appetite a little bit, but it's still underneath the WWE. Ring of Honor is not as widely distributed as it should be, and is very hard to watch. I mean, in New York, I have a hard time finding it. If any of you can point me to a better way to watch it where I don't have to pay for it, because I don't want to have to pay for more wrestling, let me know, and I will be more than happy. I want to see what Bully Ray is doing down there. I want to see the future of the industry of pro wrestling as it's performing. That's so, let me know. Help me out, you guys. Let me know where I can see some Ring of Honor. I will definitely get on top of that. And New Japan coming to the States in a big way can do nothing but good things for the world of pro wrestling. The only bad, like I said, is that it's flooding the gates. And guys like us in the internet community doing this wrestling review thing, we just have so much already. There's so many things I don't even touch. Like, we don't talk about 205 Live too much, and we barely even cover NXT because the numbers on those videos don't translate to me needing to do an NXT show. Nobody really watches it. It's hard to get an audience for the smaller things. I'm hoping that's not to be the case when I start to review the UK Championship Series special, which comes tomorrow night on the WWE Network. I am definitely doing that. I mean, I just recently learned that I have a very large portion of my fan base coming to me from the UK, and I'm going to do you guys a service, and as a thank you specifically for following this channel, we are going to cover everything the WWE does involving that UK Championship and the show that is coming, not just because of Jim Ross, but because the talent that you guys have over there across the pond is fucking unbelievable, and I cannot wait for tomorrow night's show. I'm very excited. I don't know whether the review will go up Saturday morning. It's my daughter's birthday weekend, so I got some partying, I got some family stuff to do, but it will definitely be up before Monday Night Raw, and hopefully before Backlash, which is this Sunday. Lots of wrestling stuff going on the channel this weekend, so just keep your eyes glued. As we move along to today in pro wrestling history, and it's a sad one today because we also learned about the death of Chris Cornell. Now, Chris Cornell is an American rock singer. He was the lead singer of Soundgarden in the 90s. He also did some solo stuff and eventually ended up as the lead singer for Audioslave in the 2000s. Both bands, huge fan of. Big fan of his solo stuff. His imprint on the 90s rock scene is immeasurable. He's probably the best frontman we had from that generation. His voice was just so powerful. And he supposedly took his own life today. And that leads us to what happened today, 15 years ago. David Smith, better known to wrestling fans as Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog, died of a heart attack in Ivermere, British Columbia, at the age of 39 years old. I'm 39 years old right now. To think that my life would have been over at this juncture is astounding. Because 39, I mean, it sounds like a big number, but let me tell you something, guys. When you get here, you don't feel it. And I feel maybe like I'm 25. Sometimes my body feels like I'm 50. But, it's because I work hard. But mentally and really inside, I don't feel like an old guy. And I'm sure that's the way Davey Boy Smith felt. 39 years old. He had a whole entire life ahead of him. And he had a heart attack and left this world 15 years ago today. Very sad. And I remember that day. And I was shocked. And at that particular point in wrestling, we were getting hit hard with deaths, one after the other, one prominent name after the other, and all with heart-related issues. And it was just brutal. Born November the 27th, 1962, in Goldbourne, Lancashire, England. David was among 4 children. He had one brother, Terence, and 2 sisters, Joanne and Tracy. His mother, Joyce Billington, was the sister of Bill Billington, who was the father of professional wrestler Tom Billington, also known to us as the Dynamite Kid. Now, here's something that I really did not know, that they were blood-related cousins. Look at that. The British Bulldog trained under Ted Betley in Winwick, England, and began his career wrestling at the age of 15 years old, competing on ITV's World of Sport with his cousin Tom Billington. He was spotted by Bruce Hart, and Smith and Billington relocated to Canada to wrestle for Stu Hart's Stampede Wrestling. After the WWF would buy out Stampede Wrestling in 1985, the British Bulldogs, along with their brother-in-laws Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart, joined the company. The Bulldogs would then go on to engage in a long-standing feud with the Hart Foundation, Bret and Jim the Anvil, for many, many years. And the rest, as you know, is history, man. That was a career that any of you right now in the pro wrestling business, if you could do what the British Bulldog has done in his all too short time in the world of pro wrestling, you'd have a great career. You would take it. He's never been the world heavyweight champion for the WWE, but that doesn't take away from the fact that he's part of some of the biggest moments of all time. The Wembley Stadium SummerSlam main event for the Intercontinental title comes to mind. That's the first thing anybody thinks of when you think of Davey Boy Smith. All the drama leading up to it with the sister, with Bret's sister, Davey Boy's wife, being torn between the two competitors. It was fucking magical. That was today in pro wrestling history. Rest in peace, Davey Boy. We miss you, big guy. We definitely miss you. Sticking with the British theme and going to the main story of the evening about my boy, CM Punk. This is a little crazy, and it may not even deserve the attention that I'm about to give it. But the bottom line is, if there is an inkling of truth to this, I'm all in. And the fact that this guy, I need to know maybe if he listens to my show. Because I have been saying for this to happen. And let's get into it before I go on another ramble here. A British wrestling promoter is attempting to lure CM Punk back into the ring by offering him a clean $1 million, but the former WWE star doesn't appear to be taking the offer very seriously. Five-star wrestling founder Daniel Hinkles told The Sun he's unsuccessfully been trying to contact Punk in private, but he's now going public with the offer to hopefully really make it happen. He explains, and I quote, "We want to offer CM Punk $1 million, that's 770 pounds to you guys in the UK, to come and join the 5-Star Wrestling Tour starting June the 10th. It is a genuine offer and we'd love to hear back from the man himself," end quote. Punk hasn't directly responded, but a fan then tweeted him, Mama Luke's on Twitter. This guy says, and I quote, "I'm offering you $1.1 million to wrestle that Wawa hoagie on a pole match in my backyard. Some mark will film. Money," end quote. CM Punk actually decided to reply to this by saying, "Sweet, but I need half up front, half the hoagie." So most people are saying to not hold your breath on this particular situation. But let me break this down very, very quickly to you guys. I've been saying, especially since we broke the news on Billy Corgan buying the NWA, that the smartest thing any one of these guys can do is go after CM Punk. Nobody really knows what his deal is with the UFC. Dana White's not talking about him. There's no future fight apparently set for him. After his loss to Mickey Gall, it just seems like he's faded into the back. And now he's on this Champs versus Pros show on Spike. Like, the best thing he could do is take one of their offers. I know he doesn't want to go back to the WWE, and that's fine. He doesn't want to work with Triple H. He's never going to work for that man. Or he never wants to go back to Vince, whatever his situation may be. That doesn't mean you can't go back to wrestling at all. And if he were to make the decision to sign with a TNA or even New Japan, but more importantly, if he were to go to the NWA, it would instantly make them a viable competitor. He brings along with him millions of fans. He already has a fan base of support that will follow this man to the ends of the earth. I am among one of them. So if he ends up being the main event and the heavyweight champion for another promotion, even Ring of Honor, if they found that they had a way to bring CM Punk back in, it would put them right back on the map, even in the midst of this talent exodus with everybody leaving and going somewhere else on Ring of Honor. Getting a guy like Punk to come back, I would right now go on record saying I want to see CM Punk fighting Bully Ray in Ring of Honor right now. Let's do it. Call him up, get the deal done. Get it done. But you know, I looked a little bit into this 5-star tournament, and that's exactly what it is. It is a 30-week tournament, you know, that's booked all over the world, and it seems intriguing. I don't think it's going to have much coverage worldwide, which is probably why this guy is clamoring at the hip to get somebody the level of a CM Punk to become part of this event and really get some eyes on it, and maybe possibly even help him, get sponsorships or whatever it is his motivation is for pushing so hard to get CM Punk. But that's brilliant. That's a brilliant maneuver. And, losing to Mickey Gall in the main event, in his first ever UFC event, rather, it wasn't a main event, he made $500,000. You're going to make double that to go wrestle for the next 30 weeks or whatever it is the guy said it was. It's fantastic. It would create such a buzz for the industry as a whole. People would start watching. Other wrestlers would probably jump on. I think it's like 128 competitors in this tournament. It's going to be whittled down over the course of half the year with obviously a big finals special. And CM Punk being part of that would be fantastic. But along that lines, I stick to what I said in the beginning. The guys at TNA, Impact Wrestling, or Ring of Honor, most especially Billy Corgan, if you're listening, or if anybody can tell him this, do whatever you can to get CM Punk. Once you get that piece, the rest will fall into place. There will be countless talents that will sign with you just to work against him. When Daniel Bryan's contract is up in the next year and a half, which might just be down to a year now, he could go and we could get that dream match of Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk at the NWA for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Just saying that, look at my grin. Just say it's too good. It's just too good that it's absolutely not going to happen. It is all speculation, and it's all hearsay, and it's all me just being a fucking mark and being a fanboy and telling you what I want to see and hoping against all hope that there's even this much truth to it. Because once Punk steps his foot back into any ring anywhere, he's probably not going to go away again. Because it's truly what he loves. And if he could find a happy place where he don't have to deal with Mama Lukes like Vince and Triple H who want to tell him how to wrestle and how to speak, I think he'll be a happy guy. And along with him could come his wife, who brings her own notoriety. She's got this best-selling book out right now, which I've been listening to, and it's been fantastic. She pulls no punches, and she's very entertaining. Her words have been making me laugh. The way she describes her brothers and sisters, her life story has been very, very, very entertaining. So if you are interested in AJ Lee at all, I definitely recommend you go out and either buy the audiobook or buy the actual book and use your eyes like an older person would do and actually read, because, that's fun too, and is educational, and it's good for you. So, go buy a fucking book and read. Look at me, I'm telling you I'm listening to it on an audiobook, and I'm yelling at you guys to read. Why don't I read? Get back, tell me, shoot at me in the comments, tell me to fucking read. Don't tell me to read, you read! And that's the news, everybody. It's, like I said, nothing groundbreaking, all speculatory. The New Japan news is actually the more concrete of the two stories. But, man, you guys over there in the UK, you got your shit together. This guy knows what I know, which is if you get Punk, you are going to draw ratings and you are going to become instantly viable competition to the WWE, no matter what you're doing. Whether it be a simple tournament or if you have a promotion that you're trying to launch, he's the man to do it for you. Just like I am the man to do it on the commentary table. You guys want me? NWA, shout me out, bro. You don't like my accent? I could work on that, but I want to do it. I'll do anything you guys want. You want me to commentate? You want me to be a manager? You want me to be the ring guy? I'll put together the ropes. I'll do whatever you want. I'll help any of you guys. House of Glory, Ring of Honor. I'm throwing it out there. Hire Nick Nightmare. Hashtag hire Nick Nightmare. Let's do it. Get it out there. Get it trending. Worldwide. Just like the Metallica Hardwired Tour. Worldwide. Thank you so much for joining me once again, everybody. This has been the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV, only available on YouTube.com. And also don't forget to check out the audio shows on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. Check us out on Patreon if you want to pledge your support. I am Nick Nightmare. This is Blue the Snowball Microphone. And once again, we are out of here. See you next time.